I like to use the example of Henry VIII because when people think who Henry VIII is, they really don't know much about him except for that he's fat. So if you were in the court of a king, you had access to all this food all the time, many, many servants that would bring you tidbits of whatever that you wanted to eat at that time. So why did Henry get fat? And in particular, why did Henry get fat only later in his life? Because he actually was a very fit, slender man for most of his life, and then he got morbidly obese in the end. Well, the point is that in societies where there's a lot of access to food, we tend to develop a sense of culture and a framing around our food. So we pay a lot of attention to it. Table manners and etiquette become more important, and you frame in your food. So traditionally slim societies like the French, they eat in courses. It's drawn out over a period of time. A meal is always been regarded as a social occasion. So it would have been viewed as rude during the time of Henry VIII is to eat by yourself. So you could have gotten it, but everyone would have looked at you. So one of the pieces of advice I give that has worked out really well is when people have trouble snacking, and I don't want them to feel restricted. So they need sort of a little bit of a rein in on their behavior, because you want to eat, you see food, and you feel like you're denying yourself when you don't have it. So I use my little who question because we respond to what people are doing in the environment around us, people who we respect and trust. And I say, well, pretend you're French. Pretend there's a French woman there that's raising her eyebrow at you because you're going over and snacking and opening up the fridge and stuffing food into your mouth like that. And you won't feel so good about doing it anymore. So the thing is, in France, if you're French, it's easier not to do these things because you have taken in the internal restraint. So if that doesn't work, then I go to the big guns, which if I'm sitting with someone there on a chair, I say, it becomes very automatic. Look, when we were little, we were supposed to be table trained. We weren't, but we still were toilet trained. But a baby's born, it just wants to go to the bathroom wherever it is, just like a dog that isn't housebroken. And the person sitting there in the chair, and I say, it doesn't bother you that you can't go to the bathroom in this chair right now. You don't even think twice about the fact that there's a time and a place to use the bathroom. And it doesn't bother you. You don't feel like someone's restraining you and you are being restricted from your inborn right to be able to use the bathroom wherever you want. So, what are we supposed to do now? Everyone's going to start using nappies, and we stopped using napkins and now we're going to use nappies, which is sort of the European word for a diaper, because you want to feel like you can go anywhere and any time that you want, and you don't want society to put these restraints on you. That's baloney. But the real point of it is we don't miss it. When you develop this habit, when there's a cultural restraint around you, when it's what everyone is doing, it doesn't bother you at all. And that's what we have to do, because habitats make habits. And our habitat is a feeding frenzy right now. And the reason for that is because we have a food surplus. So the food is, well, we have a food facsimile surplus, and it's flooding our environment, and we're watching people eat it through advertisement, and we're seeing it, and it's stimulating us. So we need to create some boundaries, just like people did in the time of Henry VIII.